Unbiased Trades here, and today we're going to be going over my October recap. I mainly trade small caps, and I've slowly got into futures, but this will still be mainly focused on small caps as I currently don't have really anything too much of value to provide you for futures trading. However, maybe in the future I will share some of the ideas I have. So first, this is just a calendar overview. Currently, I use TraderSync as my main way of journaling. I do have an Excel sheet with some more niche stats, but I think this is just a great way of doing it fast and easy to show you overall stats and just overall performance for the month. So we can see I've had a lot of green days. I've traded a lot more this month compared to the previous month. Previous month, I think I had 7 or 8 days where I didn't trade, but here, I traded a lot more. There's a lot of green. Very happy about that. I'll go into how I got a bit lucky with missing some losing days, but yeah, overall the month was pretty good. So here are some general stats. We've got the biggest profit of plus 4R, biggest loss of 1.2R, and an average profit and loss ratio of 2.8. This is pretty good for me. I think last month I did do a bit higher, but overall, like 5 months ago, my average profit and loss ratio was like 1.7. So this is still an insane increase, and it's really just come from back testing and systemizing my setup as much as possible. One thing I will say though is 87% win rate. That is insanely high. It's even higher than what I've back tested for this month. And that's mainly due down to me having to revise for a couple tests, and I missed a couple days, which were losing days. So this is definitely not normal. I definitely don't normally get 87% win rate, but I will not complain getting that this month. We can see my total winners was 14 and total losers were 2. I think when back tested on this month, it was about 5 to 6 losers on the month. But yeah, overall, very happy with this. What I did good this month. So I had very good money management, no oversizing or undersizing in trades. This is still a core issue for me. However, on small caps, it hasn't happened really this month. I was very good with it. It did kind of translate into my futures trading though. I did oversize and undersize on futures. However, that is a different topic. So next point was I was patient and I didn't trade on days when I didn't see anything on my scans. I normally open my scans at like 9 a.m. now. See if there's anything that qualifies. If there isn't, I just kind of shut them down and work on something else that's more productive on the day. And this kind of leads me into my next point that good productivity outside of trading, which helps me not get too attached to any one trade or just trying to make a living off trading. I focused really on trying to make my own small businesses and just improving my overall productivity outside of trading. I've tried to detach as much of that mindset that I have to be trading to be productive. It's still very difficult, but this is a core thing I think that is very important, where just because you're placing trades doesn't mean you're productive. If you don't have a trade to take that day, then that's fine. Go do something else that could be more productive. Whether that be, if you want to backtest, then sure, do that. But I try and just get away from trading as much as possible when the market's open, because that does lead into the idea that like, oh, I should look if there's like a trade or something, right? So I try and do most of my productivity for trading when the market's closed. Next, I talk to a lot of other traders and reaching out as much as possible for idea creation. Brian Lee's been going on about this recently on Twitter about like networking and everything, and it's really important. I've reached out to some futures traders that have helped me like create ideas for how I want to trade futures. And overall, just reaching out to other traders is amazing. I definitely recommend Brian Lee's Super Follower Room. There's a lot of good ideas in there, a lot of good psychology tips, a lot of good just idea creation, a lot of good veteran traders as well. So definitely check that out. Next, what I did bad this month. So I had pretty lackluster execution. Lots of entries were not at optimal areas, reducing my R. This has been an overall trend, but mainly it comes from the idea that I used to be really early on trades, and now I try and be, obviously I'd want to be optimal, but I'd prefer to be late rather than early on most of these trades in small caps. Obviously, I think that does depend on your market, but on small caps, if you're early on a trade, most of the time you're going to get squeezed the hell out of you, and that's not a very comfortable position, and it can affect your mental state. So I try and be more late, but I'm still trying to optimize this. Sorry. Next, not much progress in system building. This month I've been pretty busy with either futures or unbiased trading or just my university work. So I haven't had too much progress in system building, but I have felt a bit guilty about this. I think I could be refining my setup even more or adding extra ideas. So this is something I definitely want to improve. Next, I've been having futures, still finding my footing, but I should be trading small size on futures. I know I'm trading too big size on futures. I just need to lower it because I still don't know what I'm really doing on futures. If I was going to be very honest, I'm still messing around. I'm still experimenting, seeing what works, see what doesn't work, and I need to reduce my size. So that's a big one for next month. So my plans to improve will be reading 2 new trading related books, one on systems and one on being a better loser. It's called The Best Loser Wins. Once I find the book on systems, I've got a couple ideas, but I'll post it on my Twitter once I pick what one I'm going to read. Next, I will write down a list of queries about how I may convert my existing setup into an algorithm, or about potential ideas, along with how I might code those changes. I think this is a really good point. So if you want to say, oh, okay, like I want to implement tape into my setup, like I want to see tape doing a certain thing, let's say speed. I want the speed of the tape to be increasing, and that's when I'm going to take my long. If you think about it in a coding perspective, you can't just type that into code. There's no way that's going to work. So you're going to have to think about it a bit more in depth. So how fast is the tape? Like, how are you going to measure the speed? And then also, how fast do you need it to go long? And then also, do you add anything else? Like, is it the speed of just like small orders or big orders or medium orders or all of them combined, or the delta of the orders? So there's a lot of questions like those when you start thinking about that, which can be really useful in you refining your system. And I think I'm just going to keep on doing that with my system and get more ideas and then make it as systematic as possible, pretty much. I've also got finals this term, so I will have to be, trading on a smaller size, and a lot of my mental energy will be going into revision. So this is something that's pretty crucial, and I need to, size down, know that I'm focusing mainly on my revision, and trading is my number one focus for the next month, and just accept that, really, and then trade small size. Thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments how your month was, or you can connect with me on Twitter or on Unbiased Trading. And yeah, thank you very much.